You are listening to the VCast.
Hi, everybody. Look who it is. It's your boy, Vic Cedeno, back. Episode 62. Long overdue. I can't even begin to tell you how long overdue. I might be a couple years. I mean, we did some father figure episodes with my boy Mike, but he's just about as inconsistent as I am. But you know what? We got a lot of shit going on. Life happens. I am not going to beat myself up about it. We're back. We're going to start fresh. I'm here at the Dojo Studios, Dojo of Comedy, Morris Plains, my motherfucking home. Start this off with some cough in your ears. Yeah, I'm back. Just recording a quick episode, getting one on the books. I came early. It's Wednesday, November 2nd. Open mic night here at the dojo every Wednesday, hosted by the man, the myth, the legend, Raf Hernandez. And I was like, let me get here early. I'm going to record one. Been having equipment issues that I have not been very diligent in fixing, which I could have fixed. I normally have a guest on. Well, not normally. I've done a lot of solo episodes, but I've had guests on, and I have another mic here. I tried to set them up here in the dojo, but I got a new laptop, work laptop. The work people don't let you edit all the programs and stuff on it. They keep that shit locked down. So I wasn't able to, get the programs I needed right away. And to be honest with you, I just haven't been in it. I haven't been consistent in any part of my life. All my areas of my life have been inconsistent over the last few years. Even longer than that, to be quite honest with you. It's been a long road downhill. I'm going to get into it a little bit. Get into all that stuff, but little by little, we're gonna peel this onion back over however many episodes. I'm only episode 62. I really felt like when I was rocking and rolling with guests and stuff, it was pretty consistent. I thought I was gaining a little steam. I felt like it. Maybe we'll get some of those listeners back. Maybe we'll get some new listeners, but I'm not even focused on all that. Really, my goal right now is get podcasting just so that I am used to podcasting. That's the best part about having your own podcast, is that when you're a guest on somebody else's podcast, you won't be like a fucking noob on the podcast. You'll have your own podcast legs. You'll be able to stand up on your own 2 feet and throw punches with the best of them. Why? Because you've gotten rotations on your own podcast, regardless if anybody listens. Like I said, that's not my goal. My goal is to get reps podcasting. My goal is to also develop some content. I might say some slick shit that I might want to post later on Instagram, on the Twitter. Now that Elon's owning it, I can say some crazy shit and post it and not fear that my life will get ruined, like when Facebook chopped my legs out from under me and deleted my account for talking about shit that's now pretty mainstream, huh? I'm gonna try to stay away from politics, but I can't make any promises. I just don't want to. I don't know. There's better shit to talk about. There's more important things to talk about, like my life and letting you in on what's going on. So, so I've been pretty inconsistent. I would say since 2009, things have been going down. I've had a lot of highs. For sure. I've had a lot of highs, getting married, buying a home, having my daughter. I mean, these things were major milestones for me. So I'm so proud of the things I've done in that time. A lot of the things I've done, start comedy, Laugh It Up Tuesdays, just being on the scene, all the things that have been going on. I'm very proud of a lot of things that happened. But I also have been very slowly diving deep into a life of unmanageability. All right, so for those of you that don't know, before 2009 and 2004, I was arrested for selling weed, and I had to, they sentenced me to prison, but I was able to get out of it by joining a program called Drug Court. I had to pretend I was a drug addict, told them I sucked dick for weed and all that good shit, and they let me get into this program. I avoided prison, but I had to go into an inpatient rehab for 6 months. I had to do 6 months in an inpatient. I had to wait in the county jail while the bed freed up. And in this time, I did a lot of work on myself. All right. My brother told me before I went in, the day I got sentenced, as we're driving to court, my brother told me advice that I'll never forget. And he told me, if you want to beat them, do exactly what they say. And I took that advice to heart because I didn't want to be in trouble no more. I didn't want to be in this position no more where people had something over me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do what they say. My whole life I've fought. I was always rebellious against authority. I always wanted to do my own shit, tell people to go fuck themselves. That's one of my favorite things to do. But we said it. It was going to be walk the straight and narrow and, see where it took me. And you know what? I became more responsible. I became a man in those 6 months because I faced a lot of the things that I was avoiding, like issues with my dad being, dying when I was young, all of my insecurities, bad habits. When I got out of there, the court mandated me to continue to go to inpatient rehab. So I had to do that 3 times a week. I had to go to court once a week to check in and, get a job on the books. I had to go to probation on Mondays for urine tests. I had random urine tests on Fridays. And I had to go to AA meetings or NA meetings 3 times a week and get a form signed like a permission slip. So all these things helped me stay busy, and it helped me develop a lot of self-esteem. I was really able to build my self-esteem up doing these things and accomplishing goals and tasks, and then being rewarded for doing things and, being responsible. I wasn't doing anything that deserved a pat on the back because these are all things you're supposed to be doing in life. But I was doing things that I had never done before. All right. I was 24 years old at this time. I think might have even been a little bit younger. But before that, I was living with my mom. Then my mom moved out. Most people move out of their mom's house. No, my mom moved out, left me there. And then I moved the girl in. I was depending on her. So I was always depending on other people. I always had people to catch me when I fell. And I wouldn't even fall. I just had people to lean on. And it wasn't healthy behavior. So all this stuff happened. And by the time 2009 came around, when the program ended, I was really in control of my life. I had the illusion I was in control of my life, right? I was, I had a job. I had a good job. I was, for someone that was a felon, I was making $50,000 a year. I was a manager at a Fortune 500 company. I had a fucking nice little cubicle, benefits, vacation days. I had things. I had a car. I had an apartment that I shared with my brother. We had a nice 2-bedroom apartment in this nice spot in Little Ferry with a beautiful pool. Like I had my stuff together. And then I met the woman that would become my wife. And, things were great. She is still the love of my life, if I'm being honest, because of who she is as a person. She's a really wonderful person. That's why I felt comfortable enough to settle down, because when I met her, I was working at a fucking male strip club in Atlantic City every weekend, pulling in a few $100s just to take my shirt off and massage girls. All right. So I was crushing it. And this girl put a stop on everything. Just me. Like, she made me better. She made me want to be a better person. She helped me fix my finances, budget, fix my credit, and do all those. Like, she put the finishing touches on who I was becoming. She helped me round everything off. And we were a great team. We're still a fucking great team with our daughter. We're still fucking awesome friends, and we're still, setting goals for our daughter and crushing it together. And we thinks she fell in love with the guy that she met in 2009, the guy that was coming out of that program, that was sober, that was clean, right? I wasn't allowed to smoke weed. I wasn't allowed to drink. So my focus was fitness. I was in the gym every fucking day. I was, doing a little bit of the steroids, but what are you going to do? I was fucking jacked out of my mind, living the good life. And that's who she fell in love with. And from that day forward, I had started smoking weed again. And little by little. See, weed, for me, it's not like the other drugs where you just go straight to the fucking, the bottom, right? My trajectory was a long, slow fall. And it ended up with just, a lot of depression. I was just using heavy, smoking all the time. And there's nothing wrong with smoking all the time for some people, but my problem is that smoking becomes my goal instead of other things, right? My goal for the day was to get high. If I got high, nothing else mattered, right? Whatever little responsibilities that I could hold on to as far as keeping a job and doing things for my daughter, like that was it. I had minimum responsibilities, and things just, she wasn't a pothead. She didn't smoke. She might have smoked a few times in high school. She smoked with me once, I think, on my birthday. So that wasn't her. And this is who she was with now. And, for somebody that doesn't smoke, smelling that shit is gross. You don't want that in your life. Then you don't want that for your child growing up. So we grew apart. That is, for me, the main reason why we grew apart. Is not because of the weed specifically, but because of who I became while getting high every day. I wasn't the same person that she fell in love with, right? We grew apart. I think that, and I think also watching too much fucking porn, beating the fucking meat every chance I get. I think that kills intimacy in a relationship, and it also desensitizes you towards intimacy with your loved one. Right? Why am I going to, be intimate with my beautiful, loving wife when I can just go downstairs in the basement and beat my fucking meat to Kendra Lust for 5 minutes? You know what I mean? It's very selfish, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Very selfish, because all I'm caring about is my nut. I'm not caring about what that's doing and how that's making her feel. So that, I think, those two things combined were the real, problem with us growing apart. I take full responsibility for that. I don't blame her for anything. This is why we get along. I don't, sometimes I feel like in relationships you become insecure, and because of your own faults, you take that out on somebody else. Like, you're so upset and so ashamed of what you've done that you want to pick out what other people have done so that you can try to level the score and even things out. And it's not good, because, one thing I pride myself in is trying to be an accountable person, trying to be accountable for my actions, because you can't control what other people do. You can't control what other people do. You can't control how other people behave. You can't control how other people are going to react to you. You can only control how you react to situations and the energy that you put out. And you can only be accountable for your actions. And that's what I try to do. And, these are all things, like I said, learning from all the work I did, all the inpatient, outpatient therapy, the meetings, going through the 12 steps. When I got out, I really got into AA because it felt like a home. It felt like I belonged. And I crushed it in AA, going to a lot of meetings, working with a sponsor. I worked with a step group. I used to go on retreats. I used to do all that shit. And it gave me a lot of spirituality, brought me closer to a higher power. And it brought manageability to an unmanageable life. And that's where I felt lost. So why am I here now? Like, how did I get back to being able to record this fucking podcast and talk about this stuff. It's why it's because Sober October. I did Sober October again. I've done it a few years in a row, but I've always only just cared about doing it for the month, you know, a reset so that when I get high again, I'll get even higher and all that good shit. But my goal this year, I was not expecting this perspective. My goal was to stop smoking for a period of time so I can save money, so I can get out of credit card debt, so I can get a better place, right? Because I'm really, I don't want to say ashamed, but I don't feel right just with my studio apartment. If it's just me, it's no big deal, but my daughter sleeps over. We got to share a bed. Like, you know, her friend came over for Halloween after we went trick-or-treating, and it's like this little ass fucking place. And I want to get a better place. I want to get a 2-bedroom, and I don't make shit money. You know what I mean? I have a good job. I can afford these things. If I had some more manageability in my life, if I had some more discipline in my life. So that's my main driver towards not smoking anymore for now. I mean, I have a plan to smoke on Thanksgiving because I got some homegrown from a little friend, and I don't think I've ever smoked some homegrown, some weed that somebody grew in their fucking backyard. So me and my brother, you know, we're gonna do a little Thanksgiving, whip it up. I don't know what that noise is. That. We're gonna whip it up for Thanksgiving and you know, smoke a little bit, maybe have some wine or something. But that's it, man. In my mind, I just want to chill off of that for a while. I don't know how long. I'm not trying to put any pressure on myself. It's not forever. It's not, you know, to the end of fucking time. I just want to chill for a while and, you know, save money. I want to elevate myself. I want to continue to work. Right, I want to do this work, podcasting. I want to help build the fucking dojo. I'm in the ground floor of something real special that's going on here, and I need to take advantage of it and not just keep doing the minimum. You know, thankfully throughout this time, especially during the pandemic and stuff, when I didn't really feel like going. Excuse me, I didn't feel like going anywhere. I didn't want to go anywhere for comedy. I didn't want to do spots. I didn't want to hit mics. I just wanted to be home. I became like this fucking hermit, you know, and I just stayed home and watched TV and did whatever I could to escape reality, play fucking games on my phone, you know, scroll on Instagram, live in other people's lives, and I didn't do shit, you know. I wasn't making any progress with anything, and I want to get back to doing this. I want to get back to making, you know, these podcasts. I want to get back to editing those videos. I want to start video recording these again and editing. And you know, I enjoyed that stuff, you know, putting together that finished product and posting it and being proud of it. Like that stuff, I like that. And I enjoyed doing that shit. And I can't do that if all my whole goal every day is just to fucking get high and, you know, eat. That's another thing. Like, oh, my fucking weight has been shit. My diet has been shit. I don't want to fucking die young. I don't want to fucking leave my daughter with no dad because I'm a fucking asshole, thinking only of myself. I've spent my whole life thinking that about my dad, you know. Luckily, I've forgiven him, and, you know, I've understand more that life is fucking difficult, and you deal with it however you can. Some people deal with it in different ways. He chose drugs, and that took him away from me. I don't want to make that same choice. All right. I have the opportunity to make a different choice, to choose the harder route. I think I always chose the path of least resistance, and that never led me anywhere. Right. It made me like go in circles or some shit. And you know what? And the path of more resistance, it's going to be harder, but it gets you somewhere. Right? There's a fucking destination. There's movement. You know, you ever see like those people that walk in a circle and they just like, I don't know if you ever seen Scrooge McDuck. If you remember DuckTales from back in the day, Scrooge McDuck used to have a room where he used to go to think, and he would walk in circles, and he walked like an indent into the ground, going into circles. Like that's the path of least resistance for me, is going in circles, not getting anywhere, not really progressing, wasting a fucking ton of potential. You know, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I'm pretty good at the things I do. And that's without trying. That's just fucking God-given talent just to start with. Now, if I combine that with hard work, now that's like a different beast. Like, I feel like I could be unstoppable. I was talking to somebody today and I was telling them, hey, I did Sober October. I'm going to keep going. I feel good. I'm starting No Nut November for whatever reason. I thought, you know what? The fucking porn shit, let's knock that shit off too. While I'm at it and practice some more discipline, I'm going to do No Nut November. I'm not busting any nuts this month. And I want to see where that takes me. You know what I mean? And I lost my train of thought. The open mic is starting, so I hear everybody downstairs shuffling and bustling. I feel like they're going to be coming up here any minute. Be like, hey, what are you doing, bro? What's going on? So yeah, all these things, I just want to get to work. I want to do things. I want to accomplish goals. I started this November savings challenge with this fucking girl, Erica, that's on Instagram that I follow. She's a lawyer that talks about financial shit. And I want to do all these things to better my life. Things aren't bad. Really, things aren't bad. When I think about it, if I'm being honest, if I'm looking from a place of gratitude as opposed to, selfishness and what's that called? In ungratefulness, right? Or just the opposite word of what I said before. If I'm being ungrateful, I can pick about all the things that I see wrong, right? But if I'm looking from a place of gratitude, there's so much benefit. I have so much more opportunity and potential than a lot of other people, and it's a waste for me to smoke that shit all away. It doesn't set a good example for my daughter. That's not the life that I want for her. I want her to be so much better than me. But how can I tell her to do things that I'm not willing to do myself? That's fucking hypocritical. I don't want to live that life. And there's just, there's so much out there for me to experience. And I can't do that if I'm stuck in my apartment every night doing nothing. Watching Netflix, watching all these shows, that's going to be the thing later on. Like, I've already cut out a lot of TV just in this last week of trying to do things. That's my comfort zone. My comfort zone is being home, man. I love being home. I love watching TV. I like when I hit that recliner, that little button on the recliner. That's like my fucking spaceship. That's like hyperdrive into fucking nowhere. I hit that fucking recliner, like, and I'm fucking back. I lay back and I just cruise the galaxy in my recliner, because I've been watching Star Wars lately, the cartoon. But that's what I mean. Like, I'm binge watching these useless shows that do nothing for my life other than provide the escape from the reality. Like, if things are so bad for me, I mean, and I really felt terrible. I've really felt terrible for quite some time, and you can see it in my body. You can see it in my accomplishments and stuff. I haven't been really doing shit. So I'm excited. I'm excited about changing. I got a lot of plans that I want to do. I want to get it. I really want to get organized. I want to organize all my material. I want to get my time together. And a lot of the times, man, you see me on stage and I'm fucking winging it. I'm winging it and I'm doing well. All right. I'm not going to say I'm doing great. I'm doing well. Sometimes are better than others, sometimes are not. And it's because I'm unorganized and I'm just taking chances. Luckily, it works out for me sometimes, but it ain't going to be all the time. You know what I mean? So, I want to keep building things here at the dojo. I want to rock with all these motherfuckers that come out here. And somebody was about to come upstairs and then they turned around. They heard my bitch ass voice. I want to help build the dojo, the motherfucking door guy, seeing all the comics come through, learning a lot about the business and all that good shit, getting time on stage with other fucking legends of comedy. So I want to help keep building that. I want to lose weight. I want to get fit again. I got this fucking shoulder problem where I think I got a tear. Then when I was down in Florida, I don't know how I got it. Top Golf, cleaning my mom's pool. One of the motherfuckers ruined my shoulder. I have to get an MRI. You can believe that my insurance didn't want to cover me getting an MRI because they thought I should get therapy first before I get an MRI. I'm like, how do you get therapy if you don't know what's wrong? So finally they approved it, and I'm going to get that MRI done, start working on that. I am the king of procrastination. They've approved this for over a week now. I still haven't called to reschedule. But this is what I mean. These are the things that I'm going to be working on, fixing, working on these podcasts. This is all stuff I'm really excited about. I'm excited to get all this shit going and you know, just be better. That's it. I just want to be better. I want to be better than I was before. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel like I constantly had this dread hanging over me of my mortality. Like I said, I don't want to leave my daughter the same way my dad left me. All right, my daughter's already older than I was when I lost my father, but she's still young. There's still so many more memories to build, and I want to be there. I want to be there for all of the things that she does. That's one of the main things that is my motherfucking priority is being a dad. All right, so it's kind of might hold me back a little bit in comedy, but so be it. I only get this one shot with her. I could have another kid another time, whatever, but this is my firstborn. I only got one shot, and I don't want to ruin it. So I'm there for everything. I was at the fucking Halloween parade. I'm at doctor's appointments. I'm at taking her to, boxing, helping her with her homework, sleepovers, taking her places. She's been on vacation with me. So far, like the last 4 years, we've spent vacations at my mom's house in Florida. I want to build memories for her. I want her to be there. I want, when I was growing up, I only had my mom, and my mom, worked, and she busted her fucking ass off. And I can appreciate that now. But when I was little, I didn't appreciate it. I felt unloved because I had nobody to support me when I had basketball games. I had nobody was there for me at school events. Nobody was there for me in appearance, right? But I had so much love and support growing up. I had my brothers and sisters. At home, I had love. But outside of home, I didn't really have anybody cheering for me. Right, because like I said, my mom busted her ass working a job in a factory up at 6 a.m. every day, to come home and then cook and then clean and do everything on her own. So she wanted to watch TV. That was her escape. Like I really, really identify with her wanting to escape from fucking reality, smoke cigarettes and watch TV, because her reality was that she was alone raising a kid. Her husband died at a really young age. My dad died when he was 33. It was really fucking tragic. I'm sure it shook her foundation. I couldn't even imagine being in that position, and then you have somebody that's his twin, basically. I'm like a mirror image of him growing up, and every time you look at me, I'm like a reminder of this shit. So I can't imagine how rough it was for her. So I definitely don't want to do that to my daughter's mother. I don't want to do that to any of my family. I don't want to do that to the people I know, and I don't want to do that to my daughter, most of all. It's just a really shitty way to grow up, and I can control that by making better decisions. This has been very fucking therapeutic. I have to say, this has been very therapeutic. I do podcasts with other people, and check out the Diablo boys, Pedro and fucking Jesse. They're fucking silly as fuck. And part of me had wanted to come back on this podcast and try to be, silly as fuck too. And I can be silly sometimes when it comes out naturally. But for me to come on a podcast and try to force silly, it would have sucked. And, my strength is this. My strength is my self-awareness and my ability to communicate that to other people. And that's what I want to use this platform for, is because I can, it's like a fucking journal for me. Talk about the shit that I'm going through, and hopefully, you can get something out of it, or I can, put a clip up that somebody will identify with, and maybe I can help a couple people, whatever. That would be fucking great. That was part of, the principles of AA. The reason why you stay sober is because you keep teaching other people this. And when you teach somebody something, you get better at it, no matter what it is. If you're a fucking, a karate guy, you don't get as good as you get, and this is from hearing other people talk about it, you don't get as good as you do when you teach other people. When you're teaching other people, you're reviewing it for yourself, you're understanding it better, and that's what I want to do in my life. I just want to go over shit. I want to fix my life and be able to spread that message to other people, and have those conversations with other people, right? This is what I said in the beginning of when I started branding this podcast, real talk, real conversations. Like, this is like real ones. Have you ever seen Real Ones with the dude from Walking Dead, John Bernthal? Listen to that podcast. That's a real ones, real conversations about shit that you go through. Like, I saw the one with Shia LaBeouf. Like, that shit was very impactful to me because I could identify with a lot of his feelings and a lot of the things he was going through, and it made me reflect on my life. So I want to create that kind of platform out here for the boys and the girls too, but I'm a fucking guy. Guys are going to relate to me more than girls, but maybe girls can get a perspective on the men in their life from listening to this too. This has been great. I'm gonna cut this one done. Shout out to the Dojo of Comedy, always, for hosting this. Check out the shows, tiffscomedy.com. Also, shout out to 18 Pool Tables, who is my lifelong sponsor, just because they're best friends. And I got another fucking sponsor now too. Fuck it. It's Empire Plumbers, New Jersey. My boy started a plumbing company. They will come and dig your pipes out. They will come and dig your motherfucking pipes out, clean your shit, leave you feeling good about flushing the toilet. That shit is important. 18 Pool Tables. It's self-explanatory. They do pool tables. That's New York, New Jersey, pooltables.com. And that's it, man. Those are the people I surround myself with. Obviously, Dojo of Comedy. Killing it. Oh, man. Also, motherfucking shit's coming back. Nikki's is coming back. Weekly show. Like I said, I want to be busy. I want to do things. We'll talk more about that stuff soon. I got to go down, sign up for this open mic so I'm not number 24. Love you. Mwah. Have a good night. Good rest of your life. But we'll talk soon because I'm going to motherfucking keep popping on these podcasts. Be safe.
You're listening to my dad of the Vic Cedeno.